So till yesterday, what we have covered is we have covered the basics of configuration and the BML, and we also have seen how data tables can be created, what are the limitations on data table, and also we have seen as part of URL functions how we can insert data into data table. We have covered almost all the basic BML functions. Okay, today what we are going to see is we are again going back to configuration to see what we have left, that is SSPL, multi-select menu and array sets. We are going to see how we can populate the array sets, what are the different methods to populate array sets in real-time scenarios, what happens, and also if time permits, I'll explain how to deploy a bomb mapping rule and how to create a bomb, like how to create a data row in a bomb table, be it bomb item def and bomb item map. So those things we shall see today. Okay. Now I'm going to the catalog definition. Since we don't have any static model here, I'm just using one of the models which is available on home page. That is some washing machines. Okay, see. Basically, array set is nothing but first we shall discuss about array sets. Okay. If I click on add, here we have the attribute creation page. Okay. What we are going to do, we are just giving some serial number. Here you can see array type. If I click on this checkbox, it is going to be an array attribute, meaning, see, I'm just taking that example of serial number, student name, and marks. Okay, so if you want to display something like this in a tabular format, okay, this is nothing but the array. So in configuration, okay, I'm underlining this statement. In configuration, what we do, we don't have any specific uh, data type or attribute type as array. Instead, we have one checkbox. If we check this array type, it will be considered as a checkbox. So serial number, I'm just taking integer, add, update and new. Now I have created three attributes: serial number, student name, marks, and you can see array type as yes. To put these three attributes inside an array, you have to go here, list array sets. There is some array set already. Here I'm clicking on add student details array set. What is the size attribute? I'll explain. See, we have three attributes which are not linked with any array set. So that is why it is showing up in the unassociated attributes. I'm just pulling them all from right to left. I click on update. Here, the set is not associated to any size attribute. Array will always be of size 1 until a size attribute is associated. Do you want to continue? I'm just marking this as okay. I'll show why this is. I'm just changing this vertical. Now, let me place this on a layout.
Mohan, first you created the one array set separately, and
No, no,
on that
no,
array set you said associated with.
no, no.
I
You are
not
asking
follow.
about this?
No, not this one. You first created the three attributes, right?
Yes.
Later three attributes you associated with one array set.
Yes, you can do either vice versa. You can create an array set and then after you can create the
Yeah, we
attributes.
can
It
do
is
it.
not
Actually, I missed some point how you created the array set. So
okay. Okay.
I just
Okay, let me go back.
you're going a little bit fast, so I just follow.
Okay,
I
okay.
missed the
I
follow. That's it.
let me go back. I have gone to the attributes. Okay. Inside which if I click on add test. Okay. So here array type, there is a checkbox called array type. If you click on this, then it will become an attribute which is feasible for adding into an array set.
Oh, okay.
So update. Now if you want to associate this with any array set, you will have to go here, click on list array sets. Okay. Since already we have an array set here, student details array set. If you go, see this is showing up in unassociated attributes.
Oh, okay, got it.
Then if you pull it here, then it will be part of this array set. Else it will not be part of any array set. Okay. This is what
Okay,
I
got it.
have done. Here we have one size attribute. Why the size attribute matters, I will explain. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, Now I'm just deploying this. I'll show how array set looks like, and then we shall see how the size attribute matters. And also I'll explain one important thing with respect to recommendation rules that every developer should follow. So serial name, student number, marks, it has come here. Okay. So you can observe like I'm not able to click on add. The reason is if you don't associate any size attribute, you can always see one row on the configuration array set. Now I'll make a change with respect to the size attribute, and also I will try to add some data by using one recommendation rule. I'll show catalog definition. I am going. student details size attribute. So if you want to use any attribute as a size attribute, you should always pick up integer. You should not click on array type. Okay, this is not an array type attribute. This is just an integer. The moment you click on add, it will ask you array controller attribute. So here in on this checkbox, once you enable this, it is asking changing to array control attribute introduces range validation, which might cause legacy issues. Do you want to continue? Click on OK. So you cannot once you make something as an array control attribute, which is of integer type, the maximum value will be 200, minimum value will be always 1. Okay. Now I'm clicking on take list array sets, going here. Now you will see this one. Clicking on structure. Uh, Previously, I told you that any attribute should be available on the layout. If it is not available on the layout with respect to configuration, its associated function doesn't work. Same thing is happening here. Though you have associated the attribute on the like to the array set, since that is not available on the layout, it is not working. Okay. Let me put it here. So please have a like thought in the brain that it should be, even though it is an array controller attribute, size attribute, it should always be on the config layout. Now I'll place it on the layout.
So you just put it on the layout, but you won't show it, right? It should be in the height.
Yes,
Okay.
I'll show that as well. Here I have made it as type. Though it is available on the layout, it is not going to be visible. Okay. So with respect to the configuration array set, we have created an array set and inserted some attributes, and now also we have associated with within size attribute, and the size attribute also we have placed it on the layout. Now what happens, we should be able to add the rows. That is what is going to happen. But if you want to load the data, how which format we should follow, I'll show now. And also there is specific thing that everyone must understand is the order. Okay, if you are not following order, then it is going to create a mess. What is the order and all, I will show. See, since I have placed that attribute on the layout, I am able to see this plus icon is activated now. Okay, so I can enter the value. I can enter the value manually, but if you want to show something from the data table, what you can do, how we can maintain the data and all this. Till this point you are clear, right? How we create an array set, how we load attributes, how we associated with the integer array, like integer control attribute, and why it matters to be on the layout. Is it clear so far?
Yes, Mohan.
Now let me usually what we do in real time, the recommendation, I'm just creating one recommendation role to populate array set. Recommendation to populate student details array set. Putting see here, add attributes, you can't have the like what we should say, you can't have the entire array set here. You can always see only the attributes which you have placed inside. Serial number, student name, click on define BML function. Here what it is showing, it should be the data of the return type should be of in integer array. It means integer array 1 2 3 4 5. Just put giving some random, like some static values here. Okay, integer array, save and close. Here the set type matters now. You should always put set type as set. It means that gets like selected on the UI. Student name, here student name is a string, so it since this is an array type attribute, it always asks for an array type as a written format. String. This is the basic thing, a basic structure I'm explaining. I'll again explain how we usually do uh, in real-time scenario. Here I'm just putting return 5 because the size I want to show it as a 5. That is also set marks. This is a float 99.5, 92.5, 93.5, 94.5, 95.5. return float array. Set. Okay. Click on add and back. Let me put here Ajax enable. So what is happening? It is showing it as a recommendation. But what we have told, it should be always populated. Start our. Again, let me show you. The moment you land on the page, since that is an always true, it is working. But you can see only first row is added. The last four, like the next four rows, those are not working. Why it could be? Any guess? Any guess, Ram?
Yeah, I was also thinking. Might be it was added in the first one. After when you perform the add column, then only it is assigning the value. So the first four initial it is default added it, right? So default value it's showing the recommendation.
Mhm. No, but I have added all the five in the default value. No, see, I'll again start over and I'll what we shall do, like, as a basic learner we shall see. Okay. We don't know how what could be the reason, but if you have to debug, how we have to debug, I'll explain. I have come to 8 kg cap. It is showing up this one. So now I am doubtful. Why it is showing up only first row? Why not four? Okay, let's go. Let's see here in the pipeline viewer. What is the value for each attribute? Okay. So here it is showing up one, this one. Okay. Like all the other things are not showing up. The student details, array size, set size, attribute is showing up 5. Then there is some issue. Let me click on update now. So after clicking on update, means some change happened. Now everything is showing up. We are not able to understand why. What would be the reason? Okay. So this is where the order of the attribute matters. I'll show with an example. Again, I'm going back. Okay. Passing machine. I'm just changing this. The order of the student details eraser size attribute to 10. Sorry. Now, did it throw any error? It did not, right? The moment you land on the layout, it is loaded. It has loaded the data. Did you find the difference? Ram?
Yes, sir.
Ah,
Yes, ma'am.
so the reason is previously what we did, we though it is showing up, it is showing to us as the size of the attribute is already set to 5. It is setting after populating all these three attributes, because this is at the last. So what is happening? It is only able to, like, see, by the time the rule runs, the rule is assuming the array set size attribute is having only one. Okay, it is loading the three attributes, and last it is updating the student details array size attribute 5. So that is why first row it is, because since by default configurable array set minimum size is 1, it is showing up first row. The 4 rows it is highlighting as a system recommendation, but it is not loading the data. Once you click on update, what is happening, again the rule is running. By the time the rule runs, it is already 5, so it is setting up. So in order to avoid that, what we have done is we have, like, changed the order of the attributes. Student details array set size attributes would be at the first, followed by these three attributes, so that when recommendation rule runs, first it sets this, so that the array size array set ka number of rows are changed, then the data gets populated. This is why uh, in configuration, order of the attributes is must and mandatory. We should always look at.
Okay, it's like a
Clear?
bottom top to bottom approach, right?
Yes, top to bottom approach. It will, like, go to each attribute, then it will do this. And if you have any dependency between one attribute to another attribute, so that dependency you should look and then change it. Usually, we don't take static things from what we say from like, to populate the array set. We don't do this kind of static arrays returning. What we usually do, now let's take the example of, so what we usually do, we will take a text area. Okay, so student details string, we will take text, consider it as a text area, because text means it cannot hold more than 256 characters. So go with the text area. Okay. What we usually do, I'm going to call this text area student details string. Here yesterday we have created one data table, the student details data table. I have created one JSON array. Okay, now for each record, student details record set. There are multiple ways. Okay, I here what I am going to show is as one among them. So I have created one JSON array, okay, inside which uh, I'm going to populate the data. Once I populate the data, I will explain what I'm writing. JSON put student details JSON. Student name marks. JSON array append function I'm using that. I'm inserting the JSON here. If I click on validate, so what I'm doing is usually in real-time scenario, if you are using any kind of data table to populate the config array set, this is one of the approaches that we follow. We will create a JSON array and we will query the data table. While looping through each record, we will create a JSON inside this, and that JSON will be inserted into the array that is like initialized outside. Okay, final output is like this. Okay, so here I am using JSON array to string function because the return type should always be string. So this is how I have like modified the data. Now I will show how I will utilize JSON. Save, close. Here also it should be post will set or set it because you are not going to change any data. Okay, now you will have to determine the size of the function. So what you are going to do, you have to call that attribute student details string. You are going to utilize the BML for that. You just want the size. Okay, so student details uh, size. So I'm just using this JSON array of JSON array size of JSON array of. I'm just converting this string into, see, concentrate on this part. I'm first converting the string into JSON array, and then I am using one more function, JSON array size. If the size will always be this one, student detail size. Save and close. Here carefully observe. I'm just initializing now. Student details array equal to JSON array of. Now here you will have to create one iteration array. This is for just looping over this string. Okay, to loop over the JSON array formatted string, what I am doing, first I am creating one integer array using the range function, JSON array size of for each index in iteration array, student details JSON equal to JSON array get of see what I'm doing. Initially, I have queried and populated the data in this string in a JSON array format. At the return, I have converted into a string. That is why whenever we call this attribute, since the data insert in like data available in this attribute is a JSON array formatted string, we have to convert into JSON array first. So I'm doing that. So what I'm doing, I'm taking one integer array. So to that integer array, the size I don't know. Size would be like whatever is the length of this array. So I'm taking the JSON array size and putting inside the range function. So using this iteration array, I'm iterating over each index. So here what I'm doing, for each index, I am taking out the JSON, like individual JSON what I have populated, and then I'm appending to this integer array using the key that I have populated here. Validate. Save and close. Serial number. Let me like this. Student numbers. Here, this is a string array. So I'm just, the entire format is okay. Only change would be in the key name, okay, and the for required format. So here I'm going to get in a string format the student name. Since student name is the key that I have utilized in the JSON. Oh, sorry. Now hope you are clear why I have used these JSON array functions. In case of any doubts, pause me here. I'll explain. Ram, Shreya, Venkat, are you clear why I have used the JSON array functions?
I have because I'm just for so
Okay, clear, right?
yeah, I'm clear.
Okay. See here, the student detail string. It like we have initialized at the last. So again, the ordering of the attribute matters. So for that, what we have to do, we have to change the order again. I'm going to put 10. First this gets set, and then this gets set. Later all these three attributes follow. Update.
Mohan, confirm me one thing. Yeah, in the recommendation row, for every attribute, set and forced set, right? So the forced set, whenever we calling from the data table, we have to select the forced set.
No, no, no. If you don't want the user to give information like that, it need not be on the data table. If you don't want user to change it once it is set, then you can make it as a read only by making it by setting the type to forced set. If you want user to change or suggest something even after your recommendation, then you can go with set. If you
Okay.
want
For
to just
editable,
show
for
that,
editable should be set, and
uh,
non-editable should be the forced set.
for editable you can show two. One is none and other is set. None means it will system will show it as a message pop up, but that system doesn't set it inside the attribute. If you want system to set inside the attribute and still user should be able to edit, then you will go with set. If you just want to show it as a read only option, then you should go with forced set.
Okay, got it.
So now let's see. Hmm. This is not working. Tell me why. Nothing is working now. What is the wrong that we did here? Any guess?
Series of the attributes.
No. So if you go to the pipeline viewer, you can get the answer. What is it not showing here? Is it missing anything? Okay. It is missing the attribute that we have created. So that is also not in the layout. So that's where the rule stopped working. Because anything you are taking in the rule, then the rule also doesn't get triggered. So now again you have to place it on the layout. So here what happened now? The moment I land it on the layout, the rule runs. It populates the text area attribute first, and then followed by the site attribute, followed by serial number, student name, and marks attributes. Is it clear? This is one among a few methods how to populate a configurable reset. Is it clear so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Now let me go to the SSPL. I'll just clear the SSPL thing for today. So uh, tomorrow morning I may not be available because I'll be traveling. If I reach my location by 7, I can connect at 8 o'clock, but I'm not sure. Tomorrow, excuse me for that, but day after tomorrow I'll again connect at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, if I reach the location by 7, I'll ping you. We can connect. So basically, SSPL stands for Single Select Pick List. This is basically you can pick up the single select pick list from any data table or any array set. So here I'm just putting data table, distinct values. Roll count. You can also use a MongoDB filter here that I will explain later. So basically SSPLs why we use is in case of SSPLs, like if you have some data and you that is dynamic in nature, single select menu and multi select menu, that is like one user has, like developer has to come into this field, and then they have to enter the values. In case of SSPL, you can directly drive through data table. So here now I'm just pick up student name, click on add. I will before placing it on the layout, I'll explain what are the things we can't do on SSPL. If I go to the recommendation route, I'm just going here. So it is like showing return time, but usually we don't use any kind of what we should say any kind of recommendation on SSPL. Okay, though it shows up. Now let me go to constraint. So this is where if you go to constraint, what is happening? Do you see the attribute in constraint rule demo? No, because on SSPL we can't apply the constraint rules. Okay, so keep it in mind. You can't use the constraint rule on SSPL. So for that, you'll have to go with the filters. So now let me try to have one recommendation rule. How this works, we shall see. Load capacity equals to 15 kgs, then only it will get one set. So SSPL is nothing but a single, like stands for SSPL. SSPL stands for single select pick list. which is basically when you are dealing with dynamic data, then you will have to use SSPL. So developer need not intervene, whereas we can directly drive it through the data table. That is a scenario where we will use SSPL. There is one limitations on SSPL. You can't use it in constraint rule, so you can't restrict, but you can filter it. That filtering thing, maybe we shall see it next class. Oh, sorry, I forgot to place it inside the layer. See, the demo SSPL, it is showing up all the values, but since we have selected their distinct values, it is only filtering and showing the unique values, because my name has got two entries. Since we have selected the distinct values at the attribute level, it is showing up only once, even the test triple one also. Now let me select something. 15 kgs something it is there. So recommendation rule has worked, and it has set up SSPL as test, because from the rule we have told system to do this. Is it clear what SSPLs are meant for and how it is work, and what is the uh, like limitation on SSPL? Ram, is it clear?
Yes, Mohan.
Okay. So let's pause here. Okay. Tomorrow, if time permits, we shall connect, or day after tomorrow. I'm going to cover the balance part, including the BOM, and what are the limitations on array set. Okay, I'll explain how we can define the payload, like how we can see what is happening when we click something here. I will explain, and the process invocation, how we can see the button. So with this, we will be covering the configuration part, and then we will move to commerce.